Okay. There's a rule of evidence that's in effect says you cannot be in court unless you're testifying. And once you have testified, do not discuss your testimony with anybody else except the lawyers. Okay? So we're going to ask you some questions outside the presence of the jury to start. Okay? All right, Ms. Anderson.
I'm not sure, Your Honor, what you would like me to ask.
Well, I'm going to kind of treat this like a 705 hearing. So,
okay.
I mean, or I can let the state go first. It's whichever way y'all want to do it.
Oh, well, Your Honor, it's not my objection. So, I mean, have asked for this to take her on voir dire. So
Okay.
I think they get to go first.
Okay.
And Your Honor, for purposes of the record, the witness has requested that we use her name, Beth,
Okay.
instead of the full name.
That's fine.
And we'll provide the full name to the court reporter.
Okay. Mr. Staten.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I just say ma'am? Is that okay?
Ma'am's good. I'm old. It works.
I'll make sure of that. And ma'am, it's my understanding that you are a speech language pathologist
I am.
by training. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And as part of that, do you have a master's in speech therapy as well?
Yes, I do.
And I think there's something that you also get certified, you get your C's.
I have,
Is that right? What does that mean?
I was the in-home facilitator for the autistic students.
Okay. In-home facilitator.
Yeah,
What is that?
I didn't tell you too
Hang
much,
on,
did it?
hang on. Got to have one person talking at one time, so let him finish asking the question before you give the answer. Okay? Go ahead, Mr. Staten.
I'll start. What is an in-home facilitator?
An in-home facilitator works with the classroom teacher and works with there at the school to make sure behavior is being reduced in a proper manner, to make sure that that the student is there and learns, basically is what it is, without all the erratic behaviors interfering with the ability for them to learn. Plus the rest of the students in the classroom don't want to be interrupted either. And then they also go into the home, work with the parents, set up a behavioral program so that the parents will know how to react to inappropriate behaviors. And then I also took certain students into the community to make certain that they understood how we behave in public. And then I go home.
Okay. So let me ask you, as part of that, with regard to these students, do you do any testing of these students? Did you do any testing?
Not for autism. That's the diagnostician.
Okay. And you did you make any conclusions from that testing as to what you were going to do with those students?
That's correct.
So you took what the diagnostician said and used your training to form a plan.
Exactly. Plus, before I just jumped in there with the diagnostician's recommendations, I went to the classroom and observed.
But you wouldn't be able to testify as to what a diagnostician recommended because you're not the diagnostician.
That is correct.
But you used their expertise in what you're doing.
That's correct.
Okay. And as it applies to the defendant, Tanner Horner, what type of, let me just ask you, what year did you first come into contact with him?
I knew you were going to ask that. Either 2003 or 2004, somewhere around there.
When was the last time you had contact with him?
Probably the last month of school, the last month of school in December of either 2003 or 2004.
And so you only had contact with him during that one school year?
That's correct.
And what school was that at?
Azle Junior High.
It was a junior high. And with regard to your contact with him, did you take the diagnostician's opinions and things and form some form of plan for him?
Yes, sir.
And was that you that did that or somebody else?
That was me.
That was you, okay. There are a lot of people involved when we do special education, so I want to make sure it's you. It was you?
It was me.
And from that plan, what are you going to testify to today as to your interactions with Tanner Horner?
I have been asked to just talk about Tanner, how he was, his behavior, if I had difficulties with him, if I saw erratic behaviors. And I'll be real honest with you, Tanner was a great kid. Great kid. We enjoyed each other's company. He behaved. Now, sometimes when he was playing games, because I would take him with another student, and we would go out in the community and we'd, go to a park and perhaps play a game at the table, or go to a restaurant, learn how to order, how to sit and wait for that order to be served. We went out to my place one time because I had pet deer, pet deer.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about it. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
I just worked with them, with these students, to help them learn coping to whatever the situation was. Because cognitively, you throw something in on an individual who has Asperger's, Tanner especially, you throw something out of the ordinary into his daily schedule and he's off. He can't adjust to it quickly. You need to slowly get him used to it, help him to think about what his behavior is going to be.
All right, and so the summary of your testimony is only going to be that which with you saw him and
That's
observed
correct.
him. And so you're not planning on testifying about what the diagnostician said?
No.
And you're not planning on testifying about all the plans that you created from that diagnostician's recommendations?
Would you repeat that?
Are you planning on testifying about whatever the plans you created relying on those diagnosticians' opinions?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Ms. Anderson?
Hi, Beth, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Hold on one moment, let me get to my other notes. In formulating a treatment plan, are you required to rely, or is it necessary for you to rely upon the results and reports of other people, such as a diagnostician?
The diagnostician and the teacher. Yes, ma'am.
Are the treatment plans that you provide and that you perform and develop, are they based upon your training and experience?
Yes.
Are they based upon your personal observations?
Yes.
Are they based upon your interviews with the student or with the family and teachers?
Yes.
And for today, let me back up. Are all of those things that you obtain, are those necessary in order for you to provide a treatment plan and develop a treatment plan?
Of course they are.
Are your treatment plans tailored to each student?
Exactly.
Why is it important to tailor it to each student?
Repeat.
Why is it important to tailor it to each student?
Well, to meet their needs.
Are you here to offer an opinion whether the diagnoses that was given to you from the diagnostician were true and accurate?
To the best of my knowledge,
Well, are you here to give an opinion about the diagnoses? Or-
yes, I can do that.
Well, have you been asked to give an opinion on that, I guess I should say? Or are you here to talk about the treatment plan that you provided for Tanner?
I haven't been asked.
Not yet, anyway, right?
Not yet, that's right.
Okay. But is it your understanding that today, when we get in front of the jury, that you will be asked to tell the jury what your role was in Tanner's life during that time you spent with him?
Yes,
And are you here to tell the jury about the activities that y'all did?
yes,
And are you here to tell the jury about why you chose the activities that you chose?
yes,
And are you here to tell the jury about, again, your observations as to how Tanner responded to those activities?
yes.
I have nothing further on.
Anything else? Is there an objection?